Monique has asked me to address a question. She came in with wanting to know about what happens when there are masses in the breast. Obviously, a lot of women wind up developing all kinds of things in the breast, hard tissue, maybe cancerous, maybe not cancerous, depending on each situation. And so the first question is, how would fasting in any way help with that? What can fasting do? And the answer really brings us back to the intelligence of the body. Because ultimately what's true is that in every moment of our lives, the body is attempting to take itself to the highest level of health and balance possible. It's doing everything it can do to cleanse itself on an ongoing basis, all the time. It never stops happening until we become an ex-human. Or we get completely clean, right? Or the body gets so toxic that it simply is unable to cleanse it all. And those are the only three conditions that I know of where cleansing isn't happening all the time. And so what the actual mechanism, again, the science behind it, what your body is doing, I can't really say, but what I can tell you is that in every single moment of your life, your body is attempting to cleanse and heal itself. The problem for most people is that the body becomes so toxic and so dehydrated that it's unable to cleanse itself with any efficiency or effectiveness once we get to a certain point in life. And so most people get to a certain point and they begin to take toxins in faster than the body can possibly eliminate them. What that means is that every day there's a net increase in the body's toxicity. Okay, we're getting more toxic all the time when that happens. And the result of that is that we get sick, we wind up with disease. In this case, we wind up with masses in the breasts. And why the breasts? Because the body stores toxins in fatty tissue, and breast tissue is almost exclusively fat. So it's one of the safest places that a woman's body can put this toxic material. As soon as we give the body a chance, as soon as we get completely out of its way, it begins to cleanse itself. And it does it incredibly effectively. So we have seen, I had a client, maybe 10 years ago, who came in with a golf ball sized tumor in her left breast. And 21 days later, it was the size of a pea. It wasn't gone, but it had dramatically decreased in size. And this happens all the time. So you came in with some things there as well. And what you've seen over these 21 days so far is a ton of healing going on in the breasts, right? So people watching this, every night you're feeling this incredible activity in the breast. Sometimes it's painful, but you've described it as feeling like your body is flushing this stuff out of your system. And as a result of this going on, the masses in Monique's breasts are becoming softer and smaller. They are beginning to break apart and break down. We're not seeing the same efficiency that we saw with the woman 10 years ago, but on the other hand, she had one thing going on, and you're dealing with a number of different places. And so you're definitely seeing improvement, and that's an awesome thing. The thing you want to remember too is that although you'll be completing your fast in a week, and they may not be completely gone yet, your body doesn't stop cleansing. Remember, your body cleanses in every single moment of your life, unless you are so toxic that it can't cleanse, or so clean that there's nothing to cleanse, or that you don't have a life anymore, right? Those are the only three conditions. So as long as you're alive, and your body's not completely clean or so toxic you can't do anything, it will continue to cleanse itself. Your job, when you leave, if you want to continue that process, is to make better choices than you made for much of your life, right? Because these masses didn't show up in the last year or in the last months or weeks. They've probably been developing for as long as you've had breasts. So whenever you develop breasts, your body's been saying, oh great, there's a place we can store some stuff. Okay, and so this has been going on for 10 or 12 or 15 years, right? Something like that. As long as you're making better choices, your body will continue to eliminate this stuff. As long as, if you were to make excellent choices, if you're to make the best choices you can with an optimal diet and enough sleep and enough sunlight and meeting your body's needs for activity and exercise, and if you're meeting all of your body's needs, then your body becomes as efficient as it can possibly be, and it continues this process in such a way that maybe by the end of the year, maybe in a couple of months, they're completely gone. That's what happens. Understand that it's not a particular diet, right? If you're watching this, you're probably already aware that I am a 20-plus year raw vegan. I live on mostly fruit, simple green salads. I believe that is the optimal diet, and we'll be discussing that in future videos. But if you're doing that, if you're doing what I believe is optimal, you're definitely going to see the rapidest cleansing possible once you're complete, as long as you're not overeating, right? I mean, again, it's about meeting all your body's needs, and when we're talking about diet, it's not just about what you're eating, it's also about how much of it you're eating. There are people out there today teaching you to eat as much as you can, but we know that processing food is more of a burden on the body than anything else you ever do. So, if you're meeting your body's needs but not exceeding those needs, not overeating, then it's going to be as efficient as possible. But what I started to say was, even that optimal diet doesn't cleanse your body. People are out there saying, oh yeah, a raw food diet will cleanse you. A raw food diet will heal you, right? Green juices will heal you or cleanse you. Supplements, superfoods, all these things supposedly are cleansing and healing your body. The truth is that the human body, like every other organism on the planet, is self-healing and is self-cleansing. The best any diet can do is not contribute to the problem. Get completely out of the way, meet all the body's needs, and be out of the way as much as possible, which is what the diet I recommend will do for you. So if you're eating that diet, the diet's not going to heal you, but the diet's going to give your body the optimal conditions to continue to heal itself. And those, again, the reason that you develop these issues in the first place is that your body was looking for a place to store toxic stuff that it was incapable of out-processing, of getting rid of. So it had to store it someplace. As your body gets cleaner and cleaner and more efficient, it will be able to out-process toxins that you encounter on an ongoing basis. And so there should be no more stuff building up. If there is, then that should be telling you something is amiss. My diet's off. I'm not meeting my body's need in some way.